Hi y'all. 4 years ago, May 23rd, is when I uploaded my first video. And now, 4 years later, I have picked up 9,279 subscribers. And it's just unbelievable that this channel has grown that big. It's soon going to hit 10,000 subscribers, so I'm going to try to do something for 10,000. I'm not sure just what yet. Maybe going to contact some of my suppliers and see about getting some giveaways to give out to some people on the 10,000 subscribes. But we'll see how it goes. I really can't believe that this many people can sit down and watch some old uneducated, slow-talking redneck talk about electronics gear. I've had no formal education in electronics, just everything I do, I've been pretty much self-taught. I have worked with two large mobile radio telephone businesses, both GE and EF Johnson, and then worked in the electronics field here and there. Worked for Curtis Mathis at one time, working on TVs. Ran my own TV shop back in the very early 80s. But yeah, its channel has grown pretty good. It's unbelievable. Because I feel like I'm just a regular person and I'm no expert at nothing, but almost 10,000 subscribers. Unbelievable. So with that, I've been very pleased. I don't mind being a small YouTube channel. Seems like, the bigger you get, the less interaction you have with your viewer audience. And I try to at least comment on everyone's post that they make under any of my videos. I'm still getting people commenting on videos made 3-4 years ago, but I try at least to give them a thumbs up, or make a comment or something, or thank them. So I appreciate all the support that you, the viewer, has gave this channel. It's just really special to me that this many people follow what I do. And with that, Patreon's starting to do pretty good. I was up to like 17 patrons. I'm down now to 16, so we lost one. But Patreon's bringing in $32 a month. Not bad. And I post all the videos on Patreon. I got a little activity over there, but it is what it is. I'm not all that worried about Patreon. It's a good way to, if you want to help support, it is a way that you can support. I've had quite a bit of response. Over 700 members on the website at the Electronic Universe. This site is, kind of comes and goes in spurts. Not a whole lot of activity over there, but it is where I put a lot of my information when I work on something over here on the website. So if you never check it out, please do. It's there. It's just sitting there. It's a good resource base for putting stuff. I am trying to get the website redone. I don't quite know how I'm going to go about that yet. I've had a few people look into it, but nothing's never happened. But I want to do a complete redesign of the website and put more interactive stuff on it for users and for myself. So we'll see how that comes along. I will mention this. A lot of people has helped me along the way. Dave over at EVBlog Mr. Carson's Lab, TRX Bench, Mike's Radio Repair, the Deaf Palm. Just, you know, too many of them to mention. Alan W2, AEW, lots and lots and lots of people has helped. Terry over at D-Lab, Radio Mechanic, has just supplied tons and tons of information and, you know, helped this channel grow, and I appreciate every bit of that also. But, you know, speaking of big YouTube channels, I didn't even know this until the other week. I picked up the paper and looked and saw that it said something about a YouTuber gave a large tip to a waitress here at a restaurant in the town that I live in. So I went and checked it out, and sure enough, right here in the same town that I live in is a guy called Mr. Beast. And he's a young, about 20 years old, I believe. Gives away tons and tons of money to people. He has, I think, some app makers are backing him. He takes all that money that he gets and gives away. I'm talking about, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And it's really nice to see a young guy do stuff like this. But this guy's sitting over it. Right now he's at 9.3 million subscribers. Wow. You know, there's just no way that I would want to have a YouTube channel that big. It's hard enough now to keep up with my subscriber database, but yeah, it's good to see young guys doing this. Anyway, you know, a big thank you to all my supporters and supporters on Patreon. It all helps, and without you, you know, the channel means nothing. Without the viewers, it's nothing. Anyway, let's get on to other few things. Now, back December of 2017, I started the Icom IC-745 volatile RAM board experiments, and we finally was able to take an old RAM board and reprogram the original chips that's on those boards. Now, me, you know, I'm old school. I like original stuff. Now, yeah, there was several companies that makes a replacement RAM board to go in these units, that you don't have to worry about the battery going dead and losing the information and bricking the radio. Well, a fellow contributor built up this adapter board where you can take this adapter board and a mini pro programmer, and he also got the files which was already on the internet. He just modified them to work with this system so that you can place this adapter board in the mini pro programmer and install the RAM board and reprogram it. Now, the folks over at JLC PCB, which is a company in China, are going to make 10 of these boards for me for free. So we'll be getting them here in the next few weeks, however long it takes to get them from China, and we'll be doing some experimenting with them. Now, my plans are is to make these boards available so people that want some will be able to get them at a small cost without having to make them up themselves. And I'll have this over on my, that's another reason why I wanted to get my website redone, because I got several things I'd like to make and put on the website for sale to make it easier for people to purchase them. But we're going to probably give some of these away after they're made, and then we'll put some up for sale on the website. So big thank you to JLC PBC for offering to do that for us. These ought to come out pretty good. We'll just have to wait and see, and see how they look when they get here. I got a couple pieces of mail items. Didn't really have enough to do a proper mail time video, but Joel over at In Joel's Garage sent me some schematics. Now I've got two single-core CB42s that I'm working on, and the schematics are not bad with it, what I got, but Joe put together a little something for me, and let's take a peek at it and see just what it is. Now, those are huge schematics. This is showing board H, and you see we have the color legend over here on the right side, and we have the color traces on it. That's board B and C. Board J and E. Very, very nice detail. Joel, thank you very much for these. And here is A, D, F, G, K, and the speaker sub. Now, even in the original, these were not colored. They're just black and white. But you know, you don't need a color detail on these boards anyway, because it's not handling signal processing. It's mostly voltage control. So yeah, these will come in very handy. I thank you, Joe, for sending these in. This will help quite a bit in refurbishing the old CB single-core 42s. Thanks a lot for that, man. So I get this email the other week that says, thank you for teaching smart humans. And I said, oh boy, what kind of spam is this? Actually, it was a company. I think it's called Genesis, but what it is isotip. I don't know if any of you are familiar with isotip. Back 20 years ago, I had a soldering iron that was battery powered, and it was made by a company called Wall, which is still in business, or Wow, or however y'all pronounce it. I always just called it Wall, W-H-A-L. And they sent me this free soldering iron. But anyway, I had one of these back in the day, and I almost believe it was sold by Radio Shack, where I got it from. It was the exact same color as this in the picture. And looking at the picture, it looks identical to the one I had. So it doesn't look like anything has changed much. But anyway, they sent me this to have a look at. Now, like I say, I had one, and it was nice. And I had it in the my company van, and someone broke into the van and stole my toolkit. And this was in my toolkit. And I replaced it with one of those gas butane type of soldering irons. I hated that thing. I just completely hated it. I do not like those gas butane because they got hot spots on them. Yeah, they get all hot. Also, tip quick charge. There is our soldering iron, and like before, if you rotate the button to the back, you can't press it, and you put it over here to use, and you can mash it. But one good thing I've always liked about these when I had them before was, if you look right there, made in the USA. So it's good old USA made equipment. And we've got a little operating instruction manual with it. Now, I had truly missed mine since it had got stolen from me. And it comes with two tips, and they have them taped inside the box here. And to install this, these got little copper strips on here that holds the tips in place. Now you can remove those strips and put them in and use these two screws to hold them in. But the one I had was great. It worked perfect. I've got the tip installed, and you see they have a little lamp down here to light up your work surface. So let's see how long it takes for this thing to heat up so it'll melt solder. And that is pretty quick. Now, one thing that you will find about these is that this tip is isolated from the rest of the unit. So if you're doing some work on logic circuits or whatever, you don't have to worry about any voltage hitting your part that you're working on. So that makes it, you know, real nice for that. Now, I'm not going to do a tear down of this or anything of that sort or get real technical with it. Mike's radio repair, he did one last year, and Big Clive also tore one of these apart and did an excellent review on it. I'll link both of those videos down below. In fact, Big Clive took the power supply or charger and modified it, did away with the AC cord and put a USB charger adapter on it, so you can plug it to a USB, drop this in, and she's ready to go. And this thing pulls about 20 amps from what I've seen after watching his video. So that's quite a bit of current, you know. It's got two batteries in here. Like I say, I'll link those videos down below. Y'all can go over there and watch those two videos, and there's no need of me reinventing the wheel on them, because Mike and Big Clive both did excellent videos on them. But it'll be nice to have one of these again, so if I need to run out in the yard and solder wire in a vehicle or something, this will be very nice to use to do that with. And the way I understand that these things only produce about 40 watts or so, 40 or 45 watts. This case, this thing is probably 25 years old. As you can see, it's just made out of double-sided PC board. And let's just see if I can get a puddle of solder on this. It's a pretty good large ground plane. And as you can see, no problems whatsoever. Go ahead and give you a closer up shot. And I'm using the small tip. And no flux, just using the flux in the iron. Now, it does fatigue your finger just a little bit to hold that button down. You've got to put a little bit of pressure on it. But no problems at all. I'm going to switch over to the big tip and we'll give that a try. Okay, I got the big tip installed. and as you can see, it just puddles it up nicely, no problems. So yeah, it looks like a great little piece of equipment. It come in very handy. I noticed the tip cools off very, very fast. No problems. I really like it. Thanks to Hannah for sending this in for us to have a look at. I'll leave a link to this down below. Unit runs about 50 bucks. And I think it's well worth it. It's constructed to work. Now, if you tear this thing apart, you watch Big Clive on Mike's videos, you see there's not really a whole lot to these. And the reason is that, you know, it was a proven design and it works. So yeah, if you're looking for a portable soldering iron, I highly recommend this. Pros over a gas soldering iron: you don't have no heat escaping when you're down into a circuit soldering, so you don't heating up other stuff around it that's, you know, could melt or damage. If you drop this down in the box of paper, the button's not pushed, it's not going to heat up, it's not going to start a fire. Drop a propane iron down around some paper or cardboard, you're going to have your nice fire going on. So very safe. It's made to service. You can take it apart, you can change the batteries, you can replace the buttons. Great little piece of equipment. And you probably see this piece of equipment sitting in the background. This is going to be another video coming up here in the near future on a restoration of this. We're just going to say Sony. This is something that we did a video on quite a while ago about getting it to power up, and now I'm going through the restoration of it. And man, it is a job the way this thing is built and put together. Them guys at Sony, when they built this, did not just want anybody working on that equipment. It's it's really interesting. And it's something else I'm gonna have to do is that you remember the HP that we picked up not long ago? It has developed a fault that we've got to look at. Now this is the 8656B, and as you can see, when you reach over and you turn RF off and on, that's no problems. Over here on the modulation side, get this in view for you. You know, you can select between AM, FM, 400 hertz, 1000 kilohertz, but when you hit the off button, it doesn't shut this section off. So I don't know if something is in the buttons gone out, or the ribbon cable, or just what's going on. We'll have to look at that and see just what's going on. The unit still works fine, no problems. AM, FM works. The different tone levels work. You just can't shut that unit off for some reason. And I got a feeling it may be in that ribbon cable, but we'll get that thing back tore down one of these days and take a look at that. I went ahead and started looking at the service manual on the 8656B, and this is front panel, and this section right here is the section for the AM and FM, and right here is the off button, and as you see, it's just a latch button that sends information out to the CPU over by this port. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of logic troubleshooting on this to find out why this off switch is not working. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these necessary pages for this printed off, because I'd rather look at it on paper so I can draw out and highlight different things in it. But here's a ribbon cable that's in here that might be causing the problem with the connections on it. But when I get that thing pulled out and put here on the bench, we'll go through it together and figure out just why this latch is not shutting that section off. I don't think it'll be too hard, but you never know when you get into microprocessing. Anyway, that's about wraps it up for this video. So we'll get this thing pulled out of there and sit on the bench and get it tore down in a near video, and waiting on the boards from China to come in, and we'll start at populating those and testing them and getting them out. So appreciate all the support, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.